sorry for the delay, everyone, but we all here and ready to go for Olympus versus Delta Force. This should be a good match. Hopefully a pretty close one. We have to see how both of these teams perform. Last week, both teams weren't able to get out the win. Especially Olympus not getting any caps last week. Delta Force had a little bit more of a closer match against Citrix, but we're going to see how they perform this week. We do have Cardona here as my fellow commentator. Who do you think have the advantage here in this match?
So personally, I would give advantage just based on looking on paper, names and roles, everyone here right now. I would give advantage to Olympus. I think that they've been having a little more practice than Delta Force recently, barring Delta Force has actually had some PPMs recently as well. But overall, they have a little bit stronger PvP, especially to start out a map like Airlock I, the very first map.
Yeah, I see quick steals from both sides. Participated is out as heavy, kind of lagging around, which is a benefit and a downfall at the same time. Does go down to...
Spartan does also go down to ninjas getting in front of him.
Something, an opponent roster thing to note here is EO6 playing medic offense, even though food court is online. Olympus, due to problems with not having not a good pyro. They have plenty of good pyro mains, but not a dedicated pyro main necessarily. Food court has decided to main pyro. So that allows players like Iceman and Carowinds, who are good flex players, to flex onto other classes.
I definitely agree, yeah. Notably, Carowinds is missing for at least map 1 here. So with him gone, and Food Court being able to flex to this pyro, we've seen him practice it recently in a couple of formats, I believe PPMs as well as Ollie versus PPMs. He has been doing pretty solid job so far.
See a good steal from Iceman. He's going to go out through mid, get swapped back into flag, however. That allows him plenty of space, though, to whack down the right side. He's going to win up and around. The medic is there coming to him. He might get the resort here. Has to watch out for the pyro.
Ooh.
Gets assassinated there. But that's a good look from Iceman.
Yeah, definitely. We haven't seen him elf in a very long time. He's been a defense main for quite a while. So just breaking it out there and already like being using his win to be able to get onto that ledge and try and outroute Delta Force was already a very good showing from someone who doesn't play elf.
Spot on the other side is Soldier, has 2 stake and on top of their flag right now. Struggling to get past the bulk and is probably going to go down here. No support in sight.
0 stick as well. Looks like he is going to drop. Do have the backup from Esofront. He does get knocked away. Looks like that is the end of the push here with the DJ also dead. So, comparing this to yesterday's match, there were 3 of them, I think.
Yes.
We didn't see a lot of offense heavies on Airlock. However, both of these teams are running the offense heavy. We have Link for Delta Force, as well as... didn't quite catch Olympus's. I would expect it to be Aussie. It's actually... at it right now.
Well, we do have a steal from Esso as Elf. It's going to win past a lot of the defenders, but goes down to damage. Link might get a steal here, but there's a lot on him. Probably won't. And I'll just do
good jump by the bulk falling back for Link, while the pyro was on the chase for that recov.
Another thing I want to point out about this map, tends to have a lot of steals. I mean, as we've seen lots of steals so far already in the first 5 minutes, first 4 minutes, in fact. But it is incredibly difficult to get out of this flag room. Defenders can easily block people from getting out unless they have a clean steal. Esso, who actually does have pretty good steal as Elf, still isn't able to get out there. Goes down to damage. Spot might get a backup, but he's getting a lot of damage dealt on him and goes down to the pyro.
Yeah, so it does look like Olympus's defense is playing a little more flag room eccentric. The bulk is doing a good job of falling back when Delta Force does get in numbers, and they've been able to stop each of these steals every time with good positioning. Like you said, it is very difficult to convert these steals into something in terms of getting across the map. A lot of it comes down to the knockback you take, coupled with the support you get at the right times. We do have another push from Delta Force. DTJ with a very nice chemist grab. Going down the side tunnel here. Does have support in the form of Link, but is going to get crit out there. Went up on the leaves, allowing Food Court to be able to just hit him against the glass and get that frenzy off very nicely.
And a bit of a questionable, maybe not as good awareness from Link, who was with him. Was going ahead to try and clear a place in front of him, but there was no one in front of him and the pie behind him, so...
Correct, he was unaware.
Not the best awareness from Link there. Still would have been difficult to get out anyway, so who knows if, even if he did turn and fight the Pyro, that DTJ would get across. But that's something for Delta Force to improve here as we continue on this match. We see a steal here from Link, actually. It's going to get out to the left side. Gets swapped into a web. But is
still free here. Assassin is behind. Looks like he didn't have there, unless he would have used it. Did try to drop for what looks like a backup steal from the Spartan 33. However, it doesn't convert into anything. They're going to respawn here. So both teams also running the scout on defense. We have Rhodes for Olympus as well as B-Swan for Delta Force. I'm not sure what you think about scout defense here on Airlock 1, but I think it is pretty good. That tag is able to shut down one per push. Very easy to get off.
Another thing we've seen, I also prefer running Scout on this map in particular. This Scout favors Bulk and Scout over Ninjas, I would say. And that's what I think both team compositions are running. You see a lot of Bulk and the Scout. We do see a Soldier here from Spot, but he's going to go down pretty quickly. Another thing the Scout brings more than just the death tag is the swap. We've seen multiple times where there's a pretty good steal out to one of the sides, or even to the corner prop exits. And they get swapped into the middle of the flag by the Scout, and has to get past all that again. We see a...
He's very far out here. I believe he lagged a little bit of the way. Does have support from the elf. His medic is here, lagging quite a bit actually.
He's gonna get swapped back.
Nice swap back here. Does try to pass, but the assassin is right there. Really unfortunate, but...
I saw a switch to Soldier here off of elf is, and now trying to get out, but he's very low health. One hit and he's dead.
Yeah, he does have support and health pots from the chemist here to live just a little longer, but it doesn't look like it's going to avail much with all of the bulk on him. Did have to play around Aussie there, who refused to die or get staggered backwards.
Yeah, something, as we are approaching halftime here, only 8 minutes in, something that I want to note is, based on yesterday's matches between Citrix and the Baguettes, TP only got one cap, and it was a regular cap, and Citrix got a very last second ninja cap. So I'm wondering if both of the teams, I haven't seen any ninja attempts, and I feel like if a kind of a win condition for both of these teams is getting the early ninja cap and just holding on defense, just take the 1-0 lead. And take
definitely agree here with that. I think with the defense compositions, especially running scout, experienced teams like these, even when they do crack to a good steal, are able to get that second chance through things such as swaps and medic webs, very well placed, which means that a low cap score is very easy to have. However, it's also worth noting that it's very easy to get backup ninja steals here. Whoever gets it first could get a very nice momentum swing. Esto out very clean, does get boosted towards the exit here, but once again the bulk, being able to position in front of him, turns that into nothingness.
But as of now, actually, while I say that, Iceman has an Elf Steal, trying to go out through main, but got caught out by the defense. That's a bit of medic regen, but is not going to be able to get the restore here. And goes down to damage. Justin.
Yeah, that was a lot. The scout does swap just in there unless I missaw, which does prevent the easy backup steal from him. Very nice play.
Link is out, got the restore, but also got frenzied right after, so he went out pretty quickly. That was a good look. He was out, and if he didn't get frenzied there, that would have been a very good opportunity. But Food Court flexing a little bit, getting that clutch frenzy on to Link there to get the recov.
Yeah, we have seen already quite a few different pyro mains come out, to say the least, for these teams. Saw Bar yesterday with Rocks versus TC. Very interesting to see how they are performing with practice on the class. Normally, pyro being a class that nobody plays very much at all. There's very few good mains.
One thing I think, talking about the ninja caps here, as I think that's probably going to be the most likely way either team is going to cap on this map, from what I've seen so far. I think Link is the one on Delta Force. He's been switching around between heavy and soldier. He's also been known for his ninja offense play, and he probably would be the best fit to get the ninja cap for Delta Force.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen him clear flags multiple times across several matches with his ninja offense. It's very well placed and very well coordinated, using that offense experience that he does have. And I do think we will see him pull it in a little bit if the score does remain 0-0 here, which it's looking very likely to be. Meanwhile, on the side of Olympus, I think they also have a couple of people who can ninja cap here and do field it from time to time. I think the prime candidate would be Mario, though.
We do see an Elf Seal here. He's going to have a lot of people to go through if he wants to get out. He's probably going to go down to damage here. He does, in fact, go down to damage once again. We've only seen a couple of steals actually get out of the flag room. Once on both sides, I believe, with participated on Olympus' side, and I believe it was Esofon, if I'm not mistaken, on Delta Force's side.
And then Iceman also got out at the very beginning as well.
Right. So only a few steals actually getting any form of traction. And we're at 8 minutes left. Once again, this is proven to be a low capping map. The only exception was Annihilation Force's Team Fallen this week. And that's a bit of a, I would say, an outlier due to the difference between the teams.
Yeah, definitely.
Both Delta Force, not Delta Force, Citrix versus the Baguettes was a 1-1 tie, so a low cap map. And Roxasees versus the Crusaders was a 1-0 map. So very low scoring map here. Once again, the team that gets that first cap, if either team gets that first cap, they will have the advantage going forward.
Most certainly. And then even also worth noting, something that happened in TC and Rox's match was the stalemate that broke out. So stalemates can be tricky to break here. If both teams do get a lucky break, often it's because of a roam up from a defense player being able to clear stuff out.
We see a good steal here.
On the game here. Yeah.
We have a good steal from Spot, but gets death tagged and a lot of his spot goes down, so that's going to be the end of that opportunity. It was fairly good look, just once again, there's so many opportunities to get that recovery. On the opposite side, we have a steal from Participated. Is going to get out and to the medic. Probably not going to get the restore here, but is out. He has 0 stakes, so can't take that much damage. He is going to get to mid, though.
On him right now, though. We do have the ninja, but he drops.
He might get the medic here.
Medic on the dome.
Gets the restore. This is the best look we've seen all game. Has to watch out for the assassin here. Got him out of pressure, but is at past mid. On the opposite side, we have a steal here from Link. Is out through mid, but gets assassinated. This is looking like to be the first capture here for Olympus. And once again,
we have one more attempt here from Delta Force offense. Pyro does go down as Isofront steals with 0 stakes. And also 1 hit. Does die here.
Link has to be careful here. Goes down to the
Ooh.
heavy. Just caught out.
That was just straight up damage.
And now Link has a steal here. Trying to get out. Has 2 stakes still and is out. This is a good counterattack from Delta Force. The medic, he has a lot of support coming. Only has a ninja on him, so he probably will get the restore here. In fact, does get the restore. It's a little bit laggy, but not too bad.
Right now. Does have both the bulk in front of him, but they get knocked down, forcing to reroute through the middle.
Gets swapped back
Link
a bit.
does have mobility supremacy with Soldier here. He is still being pressured into frenzy. Death Tug on him also racking up a lot of damage from just a straight melee
so low
backwards. And does finally go down. We don't have a backup ninja here from Delta Force. It's something I did want to try and see because there was plenty of time there to get that backup ninja and simply put a cap on the board, especially with such a low amount of time waiting. Do have a... Oh, never mind. Code Bastion being able to handle that very effectively, even though the water was on the flag post on that push. Alright, and then after all of that commotion, we have returned back to your classic Airlock I 0-0 gameplay with the defense style map. Worth noting, we did see the recovery there from Delta Force in Olympus's flag room on their soldier carrier. We rarely see that on Airlock. Normally teams will try and go for the field to counter that once the carrier gets all the way into the flag room, but Delta Force was able to pull off a little bit of magic there. We do have Mario here on top now.
He's out at mid. He had a pretty clean steal due to the pyro going down. He's already across mid. Not much pressure on him. He's going to get the medic again. Gets swapped back to mid. Has to watch with the assassin here. Does he notice it? Yes, he does.
He does.
And that's what's
going to remain blocking here. Support does take out the assassin. Meanwhile, Sofran is out as soldier. Does have support from the chemist, getting some crucial kills. And restore from the medic. He's at his bridge now with even more support from the defense, namely, they both roamed up their spades and spook 3 to ensure that they still make it happen rather than focusing recov.
Yeah, now 3 minutes left, we're in a stalemate. It's not going to be easy for either teams to get that recovery, but if either team does get that recovery, that is going to be a huge momentum swing for either team, of course, and probably could be the map run as well.
Definitely. I think it's worth noting here that neither team has a notable archer recovery option here on their rosters. So I think it's going to be mainly bulk-based recovery. Delta Force buffing here at spawn. And Olympus is already off with stuff such as the scout and heavy medic on recovery. Do have a starting recovery push from Olympus here, double heavy. As well as the scout swapping in does miss the death tag. And with code being here, the recovery push from Olympus does go down. Meanwhile, we also have double heavy from Delta Force's side going down to Food Court's pyro support.
One minute 45 seconds left. Not many more opportunities for either team. I wonder, as we go into the next map, if this does end up into a tie, what does that mean? Because then it's going to be... caps become a little bit more important, more than map wins. Well, of course, if you win the next 2 maps, you win. But getting a cap advantage on, say, the second or third map will be huge if this map does end up in a tie. We have Lowrise and Forest Survivors. Lowrise is fairly similar to this map, where you might see a lot of steals, but not many getting any traction. And then, of course, Forest Survivors is kind of the opposite of that, where it is a fairly open map, fairly offensive biased, so I think it might come down to whichever team performs better on Forest Survivors.
I think it is going to come down to that again, with a score of 0-0 on map 1 here, and the... Oh, actually we do have a headshot there from Iceman. Doesn't go into anything, medic is now holding.
Neko is actually holding, which is
Neko, yeah.
fairly comparable to Soldier. Only difference is doesn't have that wall climb mobility. But for holding for 24 seconds, that's perfectly fine. Dr. Foe seems to be focusing a little bit more on support, as you see like 8 players roaming around B1 or on B1. Most likely going to end up in a tie here. Only 10 seconds left. No pressure on participated whatsoever.
Yeah, just like both teams did opt to play more defensive there. Nothing there being able to pick up on the headshot onto Isofran there. We are going to end map 1 in a 0-0 tie. Which means we do have a guaranteed third map here, Forest of Rivals. And like you did say earlier, I think that map was a decider for the Baguettes versus Citrix yesterday. I think it's going to be the same way here. Whichever team is able to optimize their offense and defense, they're the best, is going to take the win on here. Lowrise still being important, though, with the tie coming into place. If either team does get a significant capture lead going to Forest of Rivals, it can mean something very big.
When the Queen is playing, Carlson.
Oh,
got on.
Gotcha.
Well, while I'm trying to get this timer thing sorted out, who do you think who stood out to you from both teams that match, that map?
Very interesting question. I think from Delta Force's side, it was Spook 3 or Pig 3 on Assassin defense there. Was in the right position to save a couple of those captures a few times, as well as, from what I saw, getting good value on the Assassinates on each offensive push consistently. Worth noting that if the Assassin does get an early Assassinate on something such as your Heavy or your Medic, it changes the entire course of the offensive push, being a player down before even getting close to the flag room. In terms of Olympus, I would actually want to say Mario on offense. He didn't get a lot of steals, but the ones he did get mattered a lot and got him very far across the map. Being the only person I saw really to stand alone, consistently get out and route correctly across as Soldier.
Yeah, I would genuinely agree with that. I'm trying to look at stats here, see how comparing different classes. For example, the Pyro matchup, fairly comparable, I would say. Foucault getting a little bit more damage than Cold Bastion, but they had fairly similar kill-death ratio here. And I think that fairly accurately describes what we saw. Foucault did a fairly good job on Pyro. Did die a couple times, but so did Cold Bastion in key moments, which did allow the enemy team to get good steals as well. Something I want to note before we get into this match is some subs teams are doing. For example, the most notable one, of course, is the Ultra sub in. So we have Winter Green coming in for Delta Force. It's going to be playing Ultra for them. And then Chimichanga, who we don't often see come in and play for Olympus, but is coming in for Olympus here and is going to play Ultra.
Yeah, I think that is an interesting Archer matchup there. I think both Archers... I know Chimichanga was ran recently in an Olympus versus PPM practice on this map, specifically for this match. She didn't do really bad at all, actually. The inactivity was crucial headshots when she needed to. And then Wintergreen, of course, has played on this map for years and has that experience and positioning as well. We also have a substitution for Olympus offense here, DucksFan 101. Not sure who he's coming in for, but I can almost guarantee that he's going to be a Soldier here, main camper for Olympus.
It does seem like he's coming in for Iceman.
interesting substitution. It is dropping the elf, albeit it could be strategic since Iceman isn't really an elf main. They're looking for a more bulk-based low-rise offense. We will also probably see Sir Leo switch to Soldier here to accompany Ducks Fan as another main capper. He was heavy last map, looking more for clearing and tanking.
Actually, I do want to correct a little bit the offensive composition of Olympus right now. We have participated and Ducks playing on Soldier, Two Sensational playing as Neko. Actually, we have a Ninja Steel fairly quick. Gets all the way to the cross and the elf picks it up. We might see just a quick Ninja Steel cap for Delta Force right off the bat. Kind of a deja vu from last week. If you remember, Recovs got the quick ninja cap against Olympus as well on Pagodas.
Yeah, very interesting to see here on Lowrise. Normally teams are instantly in their flag room watching for that, since it is an especially easy map to quickly get across this ninja on. Interesting to see that happen on the very first push. Do have a steal here from Cyan. Does go down to the offense Soldier falling back on defense. We also had Isofran, instead of going out offense, watching flag for the backup ninja, and he was there to stop it from Olympus. So good play on his part. Delta Force immediately starting the map up a cap could mean a momentum shift here for them. Definitely getting a lot of confidence from getting the first cap of the entire game.
Well, I'm going to look at this Ultra matchup. In fact, I'm curious on where the Ultras are playing. When they're playing in a bit more conservative Ultra position, a fairly standard one, near spawn, near the sponge, to have to get the look on the main offensive route. We have another steal from Link, this time as Soldier. He's out on top. Gets assassinated.
That was a very nice hit. Was able to catch him as he descended from his wall climb there, and of course he's not going to block there. He thinks he's safe.
Anyways, Jimmy, back to the Ultra conversation. Jimmy is also playing in the similar position as Wintergreen. Does sometimes move up a little bit to in front of the underground route, so she can look through those offensive routes as well, which is commonly taken, as we see here with Spot and Lou.
Okay. Also very interesting to note, main cappers for Olympus appear to be Sir Leo, Duxfan, and Mario. And we actually have Justin, or Sensational, on Necro. Now he's on Elf. It seems he's the flexing class for the offense here, filling whatever role he needs to. I have seen him being, practicing that a little more, as opposed to just being one of the main Soldier cappers, especially since Olympus does have quite a few good people to fulfill that role.
You're going to see a steal here from Mario. Was completely unnoticed from Cold Bastion. It's going to get out as well. Usually that is a choke, but we get assassinated. That's crazy assassination.
Again with a very nice mid-air assassinate.
But Duxfan
does
does have the backup seal, as might get to mid here. The medic is
behind him as well. He's going to stay top here, which is smart, but he does need that restore eventually. Eeyore just waiting down here, not able to get to him since Delta Force does a great job of containing him. Again, an assassination finishes the job.
Unfortunately, he did struggle a little bit to get up. He wanted to get up to the upper part of mid, but the ladders were blocking his wall climb, so he couldn't actually get up, which allowed Spook 3 to get that assassination.
Yeah, it does suck a lot when it happens. It was also a little bit of an awkward positioning from him and his medic. His medic didn't actually go down that push, but Delta Force opted to focus him, not allowing him to get anywhere near. We see a little bit of a change up here on Olympus's offense.
Toon Station switching to Soldier as participated switches to Elf. So now
Definitely like that more.
Yeah, so now they're all running an Elf. I don't believe they were before.
They had Justin or Sensational on Elf briefly.
Briefly, okay. I knew he was
Likely-
neutral for a bit.
Yeah, likely switched him because Mario does have a little bit more experience on Elf than he does.
Look, Sandiz does get the Soldier steal. He's trying to get out top right, but he's going to get pushed away. He's going to try and get through to the top of the flag area, but going to go down to damage there.
Yep, this is a classic problem for the Soldier class on Lowrise. Despite being very powerful when it does get out, you can be very easily contained in flag room if the defense knows what they're doing. We saw it happen yesterday quite a few times, and we're seeing it again right now. You have an attempted ninja steal from Aussie, almost free, but does get hit back by Wintergreen 3 using that arrow knockback on Archer. Very good awareness. Seeing something very similar to map 1 here. Bit of a stale gameplay, neither of the offenses being able to truly break through, despite getting decent steals all around.
We're going to see a pretty good steal here from Ducksfan as Soldier. The Pyro was distracted, which allowed him to get up, but he jumps down into the Pyro with Frenzy. Probably not the best route there. Mario is going to try to get a backup steal here, but goes down to damage. And
Nice
that's
from
going,
Obi.
that's going to be... Oh no, Soleil does get out as heavy. Drops to the Soldier, but
That was almost a very clean pass, yeah. Well, once again, seeing that problem here, Soldiers can have a difficult time getting out on this map if it's not as clean as possible, often involving the death of a few of the defenders you're up against. So it does require good support to pull off correctly.
So something on this map that would be interesting to see. It's not a strat often used, but it can be used. Is one that TC employed against their match against Foxes was sometimes pushing the scout to offense to swap the Pyro off the flag post, since it's a fairly open flag room.
Yeah, that was definitely a very interesting strat from them yesterday. I think the play with that type of offense or a roam-up would be for the scout to swap, and oftentimes, since they are the one to steal, with the Pyro playing very close to flag, they would run it straight to the top and have a carrier ready to pass through. Not something we're seeing from either team, both scouts being carefully positioned back on their defense more, just to ensure that they're able to keep on getting these crucial swaps, make sure carriers don't get out of the flag room.
And actually, I think another thing I want to note about both teams' offenses is, I know the offensive Soldier route, you want to get out to mid as fast as possible, so you want to go out through the front exits, but I actually believe, due to how easy those are able to be defended, and how hard it is to get out those ways, I think maybe going out top is just a generally more consistent routing option. Especially considering you can have offensive players sitting up there fairly lightly pressured, meaning you get more support, might be able to go for something like a pass, or even a ninja pass, as we saw with Citrix versus the Baguettes. And no, was it Citrix? I might actually know. That was the Baguettes and Citrix versus the Baguettes.
Yeah, I think the best way to play as an offensive capper on Lowrise is when you get a steal, mix up where you exit. If you try to go through the front exits every single time, the defense is going to be able to block you there every single time. It gets too predictable on this map. If you're able to go top sometimes, possibly try exiting through the tunnel and have your offense support adapt to that, which is a lot easier to do since offensive support going the same route every time is just going to get farmed by the defense before you steal. I think that is going to be the key ticket here to playing Lowrise effectively. But
the problem I think I've been saying is the fact that there has not been a mix-up of that. most of the Steelers are trying to go for that front left exit.
Exactly. It just gets too predictable, and for these good teams, they're going to easily capitalize on that with every single steal. You notice that the steals that are getting far are the ones that went top from, I believe, Ducks and Mario.
Yep. And they went top initially.
Exactly.
As well. We do see a steal here
from Saiyan. He does have heavy support. If we check Stick here, he has 0, so he is going to need support soon. Does have the medic coming. However, he's going around the medic, opting to gain distance instead. The Pyro is up here on top, able to get a very nice knockback hit there.
He is very low here, but is going to be able to survive a little bit. But there's a lot above him, runs out of wall climb there, and does go down.
Yeah, I think it was a smart decision to actually hang on the side there to avoid getting knocked off, but didn't work because of the lack of wall climb. He did spend a significant amount of time just climbing on the letters on the side here, as well as the iron bars, so he was too drained to perform a tactic like that.
But a fairly good look. Once again, that top out, once again, is seeming to be more consistent on getting out than that front left. Though I will admit, Sign did go that direction. He did manage to get on top and go through top.
Yeah, we also saw Sir Leo there as heavy, likely knocked out everything that could have been waiting for him there, or was able to at the very least. Once again, support being able to get there much easier than at the front entrance.
But so far, we haven't seen. It's once again a low capping match so far. I mean, we've only seen one capture thus far, and it was a ninja cap. Fairly similar to the Baguettes versus Citrix, except by this point, Citrix was actually starting to get captures on Lowrise. It is actually fairly similar to TC versus Roxasy's. It was a 101 of Roxasy, so a fairly low capping maps to begin with this week. See a steal here from participated Ducks fan, my bad, who's going to go out front right side and maneuver his way to the top. Might get the refill here. Does in fact get the refill. No pressure on the medic.
It was very nice routing to be able to get to Eeyore. That was definitely communicated in their call. Are going to have a tempted swaps back here, but pretty much nothing on him.
Oh he gets
my gosh.
The assassin.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. There is going to be an elf backup steal here from Iceman.
Who got subbed back in? Or was he always in?
He might have been. I think he might have subbed in. I'm not sure. I have to look back. We also see a steal here from Spartan, who has medic support and is heavy, and Hagsta has a lot of support. Iceman on the other side, not as much. In fact, goes down. This might be a second capture for Delta Force, giving them a 2-cap lead, which is going to be absolutely huge going into that third map, since once again that first map tied.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so once again we have a very similar maneuver here from Delta Force as on Airlock I, getting a clutch recov into offensive momentum that just led to straight up getting across the map there. Notably is Heavy, which isn't a class that gets across the map very often on Lowrise. That was a very nice swap into Assassinate, very well coordinated from B-Swan and Pig 3 in the call.
Well, now we have 6 minutes. We have a ninja steal from Rhodes.
He is free. Going to go all the way to his spawn. Passing off to the soldier here. This does look like a capture unless Delta Force can steal. We do have a push.
Medic will steal.
Medic is going to grab.
Not ideal, but might be able to stall.
He's going to be able to web here, but the ninja is easily going to pearl out of him. And that's backup here from Spart.
Yeah, Spartan's going to stall again, but he's going to very low health.
Oh, Assassin is there right on time to catch the pass. And that's going to be Ollie's ninja cap.
So now they at least have fought it back in within 1. So it's not over yet, for sure. 5 minutes left. There's plenty of opportunities left for Olympus here to tie things up again. But you have to keep in mind, Delta Force did get a non-ninja cap this map. So, one has to wonder, can Delta Force get that third cap in? Once again, bring back that 2-cap lead going into Force Survivals.
Yeah, definitely. Something I'd like to point out here is that Delta Force are missing what I would call a very key member to their offense in this match, or not offense, defense, and that is Cameron on defensive assassin. However, they do have Pig 3 here, definitely shining and performing, showing that Delta Force doesn't really have a weakness for that role on their defense, having two of the best assassins in the entire game. We do have a heavy on Olympus's offense, getting targeted by a lot of the Delta Force roaming, allowing Aussie to get a knock here on the Pyro. However, the rest of his defense is being held up by Obi Kenobi and Spartan 33 right outside the door. Lowrise being such a weird map compared to other comp maps in terms of how you play on offense. The Pyro is very easy to knock down, but we've seen often with good teams, it doesn't really translate into anything, with the rest of the defense being very powerful on roaming for this map.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, the very important thing to note, this is one of the more thinner maps in competitive rotation. Might in fact be the thinnest one. I would say it's very close to. So it's not easy to get by roaming. Roaming, it's very easy. You can very quickly pick out who's going where. Where's the offense routing? Which is harder to do on most other maps. There's more height variance, there's more paths that are farther apart from each other. We see a steal here from Soleo. Does go down to damage.
Yeah.
Space is smartly waiting here on the flag for the defense to get back. Does recover as Cold Bastion gets to the flag. Two minutes and 40 seconds left. Olympus needs to tie things up here if they want to have a good chance of winning. It is just a 1-cap lead for Delta Force, and of course Force Survivals is a 5-cap map.
Definitely. I think going into Force Survivals, if Delta Force managed to maintain this lead towards the end of the map, their best bet is to try and get in a stalemate. Stalemate on Force Survivals. Oh, wait a minute.
We have a good steal from Link. He already got the restore and has Force 3 stake right now. He's already
he's getting very far. He needs his medic here, though, is taking significant damage from the ninja, but is also getting boosted, meaning that assassin isn't going to be a threat to him.
This might just be it, giving the 3-1 lead to Delta Force.
Wow.
That's going to be absolutely huge. It's not over yet, of course. Something important to note, the first two maps had a very similar feel to it. Very hard to get out, very hard to get any traction for steals. But for Survivals, that
this could change everything, though. Should Olympus somehow pop off here, it could be the end very quickly. So yeah, it's actually looking very similar to CX versus the Baguettes, with similar map scores besides no caps on Airlock I. One team did manage to just absolutely dominate towards the lateral half of Lowrise, just like in that match yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna more than anything else come down to, although Delta Force has that 2-cap lead, and that's gonna be absolutely huge for them. So they can focus more on defense and keeping defense stable more than getting offensive caps. There's more pressure on Olympus, of course, to get those caps. But with this change of style of map, I think it's going to be more than anything else to who adjusts quicker to this map.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see here. Looks like Olympus will need to win by 3 caps on this, which is either a 5-2, 4-1, or a 3-0 victory to get the win of the game. And they need to win by at least 2 caps here to at least tie it up. And that is going to be a 5-3, 4-2, 3-1, or 2-0 lead by the end. Which means the moment Delta Force does get a capture, if they allow it to happen, it's just such a momentous stride for them on a map like Forest of Rivals that, once again, referencing what you said earlier, not too many steals, but when the steals do happen, and they do happen to get out, they just keep going.
And it looks like Olympus is trying to figure out what they need to do to get the victory here. They're not out of it. It seems like Foucault is going to be subbing out here. A very interesting decision. I know he prefers not playing medic offense, so we're probably going to see EO6 staying on medic. The question is, who's going to be playing Pyro? It's most likely going to be Iceman.
I would definitely say it's probably Iceman here.
So if Iceman is the one playing Pyro, who's going to be the one? Who could be the people on offense? To Sensational, Aussie, Anticipated, Soleo, and EO6. I would most likely be the ones playing on offense here.
Yeah, I would like to see a more bulk-based offense here from Olympus, based off of who they have in. They have Sensational and Duxfan, who can both run the... Actually, it looks like Duxfan got subbed out. Yeah, so right now they have Sensational and Leo, who are both very good soldiers, but I've seen both of them heavy as well. We have Aussie and still have Mario participated in, both who are very capable heavy offense. I think if they run that, they'll be able to throw Delta Force off guard with a left soldier-based offense, seeing how Delta Force was very easily handling that on Lowrise.
Yeah. I'm curious for Delta Force here. I think one thing that they will have an advantage coming in. First of all, of course, they have the momentum with that, that 3-1 victory on Lowrise, but also they're keeping the roster the same. They're keeping that energy up by keeping the same roster, right? They're not making subs, having fresh people come in. They're keeping the high. Olympus made a lot of subs.
100% agree with that decision too. You are right, Olympus did make quite a few substitutions here, but I believe it was right for them to do that, being down in this position. They need to change something up to be able to deal with Delta Force's defense more easily on their offense. Worth noting that all 3 maps played today and throughout this second round of the tournament have favored roaming defenses very much, especially here in Forest Rivals. Team who gains control over the middle tends to easily push up on offense after things die. It can definitely change the tide of the match. So interesting to look back on these matches and see, that team definitely had better roaming in this match. I think that's what's going to be the deciding factor of who wins Forest of Rivals.
Another thing to note, with that roaming, it's more than just roaming, it's also the Archer matchup. Where are the Archer positioning? How much are they controlling in terms of mid? We see Chimmy pushed up fairly far here. Wintergreen also pushed up very far, actually, already across mid. We see a steal here from Esrafon as Soldier, but is in the corner and has no support. Should probably go down here. In fact,
drop from Link. However, they don't pick up. Yeah, Link is also dead, so that was quite unfortunate. He did look like it was going to hit either the Soldier or the Ninja as soon as he dropped. However, one of them did end up falling off the map. Smart from them not to pick up, seeing how Link probably had the backup. So taking a look at the archers here, like you said, and that does also impact the game quite a bit. We have Winter actually challenging Chimmy here. Both of them playing pretty far back though. I think both have been playing very defensively throughout these games.
Well, I did see Winter push up past mid, and in fact is at mid right now.
Yeah, actively shooting at Chimmy right now. Underneath is not a bad place for an archer to be. You basically have angles on everything besides anything going top mid. Just
Oh,
have the
through
assassin
mid.
behind her now.
But gets a
Having
lot
power
of shots.
with them.
Oh my goodness. Just gets 4 shots consecutively on the name of Sam, so no pressure on Winter there.
Does get headshot here by Chimmy after being stuck by the ninja.
Actually, I don't think I realized this, but it seems like Spot is not playing offense for Delta Force right now. He's playing ninja defense. A role where I'm not familiar seeing him play, so
I don't like that from Delta Force. I think him on offense he was talking, of course, and I think he's a very major leader on offense. Being able to flex to so many roles. It looks like he is roaming up on ninja offense here, but if he is now on ninja defense, I think that is a not so great swap.
Well, just a reminder here, Olympus does need that 3-cap lead to take the victory over Delta Force here.
Very true, and I think part of the motivation behind that swap could be that Spart's comms are very good. Perhaps they need him on ninja to be able to call out stuff and prevent those 3 caps from happening.
I mean, yeah, once again, I mean, Delta Force's win condition is much more lenient than Olympus's. They can focus more on defense. In fact, they can not only focus on defense, we have a steal here from Link that's out and has the medic support.
Death Tag will be expiring soon, as well as, oh, the Pyro barely misses the frenzy there.
He's slow here.
But very pressured. Medic's still left alive as well. Archer taking consistent shots, but that is Winter on Archer. This is looking like a cap unless Olympus can steal here.
Intimidation does have a steal here, but goes down to the frenzy. That's a cap for Delta Force. Things just got that much harder for Olympus. They need 4 captures to take the victory here.
Yeah, I speak from heavy experience here on Forest of Rivals. The moment one team caps, the momentum just shifts like crazy, especially in a map 3 scenario like this, where every cap made matters. Right now, Delta Force have a huge amount of motivation and momentum combined from just constantly one-upping Olympus on map 2 and 3 as of right now. Worth noting, we were talking about Spart on defense earlier, but it looks like he is now on the heavy offense, which is very good. Do have another push here from Delta Force. Chemist has the grab, it's DTJ. Is going to get comboed out here.
I mean, even what we saw yesterday with Citrix versus the Baguettes, Citrix was in fact in the same exact position as Olympus here, down 2 caps fitting into Forest of Rivals, and the Baguettes just had so much momentum on Forest of Rivals that they got 3 caps on Forest of Rivals and Citrix got none. We might see a fairly similar scoreline on this map, especially given what we've seen so far. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. Leo gets a steal here,
so,
but
yeah, Leo's out pretty far. Ooh, does go down to flag poison there. He was bashed quite a bit by the defense before getting out. I think it's worth noting here. Scouts, once again, both scouts, putting in a good amount of work with those crucial swaps. We did have a steal from Justin earlier, where he did take positive knockback in the right direction towards the front of the flag room. Nothing in front of him. But B-Swan was able to get a swap, putting him right back in the heart of the PvP classes on Delta Force, thus making him drop. Scout proving to be very powerful on defense here, not just on recovery.
So I'm wondering at this point, what does Olympus need to do if they want to win? I mean, they only have 13 minutes to get 4 captures, and given their current pace, that's not looking possible. What do they need to do to get those 4 captures?
And do you also have 3 in here, 1 being a medic? Does go down to the assassin there. The name is Sam, doing a good job of preventing that from getting out of hand. I would say the best thing that Olympus could do right now is, I don't know who their ninjas are, but I would have their ninjas rolling up more to target key things such as Delta Force Assassin, Archer, and Pyro when everything is going in the flag room. if those classes are stunned at the right moments, it can mean the difference between capping and dying. We do have Aussie here on Elf, which is also another swap that could make an impact. Elf being decently strong on Forest of Rivals. He is going to go down to roaming here. Do have a steal from Leo. Does get comboed by the Frenzy from Code.
And we have a clean steal from Esso.
Does get the restore right then and there as the medic body blocks the headshot. And looks like DTJ was also on Chimmy. She's not able to take shots anymore.
Esso does get swapped down and gets death tag, but it's still
medic also gets swapped. That was a very nice swap, and it could result in the reco here, but tons of Delta Force swarming around him right now, making sure no damage is on him.
But there's no medic. He goes down, but the Scout picks it up.
Scout picks up. Scout needs to drop right now. Nothing is here ninja-wise. Yep, gonna run right into the offense. He's alone now. Does go down to the headshot.
Actually, Aussie has the flag and passes to Soleo. Oh, goes down to the assassin and Neo picks it up passive. And he has plenty of support now getting across. This might be the first capture for Olympus. That makes the distance on this map.
It's looking very promising. It looks like Olympus actually pulling a reversal of what Delta Force did to them on the first two maps, with a clutch recov followed by a lot of offensive momentum from the defensive room, though. And Leo's going to get the first cap along with a backup steal from Participated going out the back. He is Chemist, but he does have stuff on him and goes down.
But that's a good look for Olympus there. I do want to note though while that is very good for Olympus, I don't know if that's going to keep up. While it gives them some momentum, the problem is that cap came from a lot of pressure onto Delta Force due to them having the flag already across the map.
Exactly. It's what I said earlier. If Olympus, I mentioned Ninja because Ninja is quite powerful here, but if the Olympus is able to gain control of this middle area to the point where they can push stuff up into the flag room, it's going to convert into a lot more caps for them. As seen there, they could probably take the hint here and go for more stuff like that, especially halftime here at the map. There's only so many attempts left to bring that capture score up to at least 3-1.
You do have to see, I mean, Delta Force, of course, once again, should be focusing more on defense than offense, because that is part of the win condition. It's just make sure things are kept tight, and if you get a good steal, you get a good steal, and hope for the best after that. But most important thing is not let Olympus cap. They don't need to cap at this point.
I honestly wouldn't mind if I saw one of Delta Force's offensive members switch to defense to be able to prevent that all the more. However, they do need to keep up offensive pressure here to make sure Olympus doesn't push up more. Mario is outgoing Tunnel as Chemist. Death Tag does wear off here. He only has the Assassin and Scout behind him. However, Scalping behind him again can't get that swap. And does.
Goes for the...
Big 3 doesn't have Assassinate. Isn't able to get anything off there. Mario has support from the Soldier. Is very far. Oh, still tagged. But Obi does go down. And does have the medic underneath.
But on the other side, actually, never mind. As I was about to say that, Esso does go down there. Delta Force might be looking
like a...
Ooh, the powers there waiting for him, and the Assassin.
Forces Mario to go very far back. Lost all of his support, has the Assassin constantly on him, meaning he can't afford to reroute. Can now with the Assassin dead.
And DTJ does have a Chemist steal on the other side. Delta Force might be focusing support here. In fact, one's right past the other flag area. Goes down.
Yeah.
This might be a second capture for Olympus. Things are looking a little bit more feasible for Olympus to tie things up.
It's a very nice recovery from Olympus here so far. You have a steal from the defensive Soldier Spades. Is swapped back away from his medic. Very key swap there, however, is going to get it now. Medic does go down, which means no restore will happen.
No restore, my bad. I thought I saw the restore go down, but it does not in fact happen. And it's going to go down there. 7 minutes, 40 seconds left. If Olympus gets one more cap, they do tie things up.
Yeah, so this match just got a whole lot more close. I think Delta Force had problems on recovery there, not being able to communicate where Mario was in the tunnels. Possibly thinking he already came up when he spent a lot of time in those tunnels alone, very suspect to ninjas critting him out, especially being death tagged multiple times. Delta Force really need to up the ante here on their defense if they want to maintain this lead. That being said, Eastokron is out, is one tick away from flag poison, kill, and does go down. Looks like Sane here doesn't recover, waiting for Olympus defense to clear out the rest of Delta Force offense. Very smart move here, seeing how Spark does take down the Pyro, amongst other things. Gonna go on ahead and grab my computer charger real quick so I don't randomly cut out.
Sorry for the delay there. I had to take care of something real quick. We do see a steal here from Soleil, but he's stuck in the water. He's not going to be able to get out of this alive. Anticipated going for the ninja backup, but Delta Force quickly getting back to that. On the other side, we see a push here from Delta Force. Spot is going to get the flag here, but is very low. Goes down very quickly. 6 minutes left. Delta Force, while Olympus did get some momentum for those two captures, Delta Force is still in that lead with one capture. So it's not over yet for them at all. We're all approaching just 5 minutes left, a quarter of the game left.
Yeah.
See a pretty good steal here from Esophan. It gets the medic region, but his death tag is out, however.
Mario also out here on Delta Force's side, but does go down to a massive amount of bodies on him.
Esophan probably going to go down here. Still alive, however. But, yeah, it goes down to damage there. And the medic is waiting in case there was any backup stealers.
It is worth noting that Wintergreen 3 has repositioned on top of Delta Force's flag room, likely playing much more defensively to ensure that these headshots can get off on any stray flag carriers that get out, and likely to maintain the lead here. I like that switch. But that does mean that Chimichanga will be able to get a little more free reign depending on where she has decided to position. I think something worth noting throughout this entire match is that despite both Delta Force and Olympus running bulk defense, they're not really focused on being on top, being able to stop the soldiers from dropping in, which is, in my opinion, something very crucial to being able to defend force rivals properly.
Sensational is out as soldier, has no stake, but is at mid. On top.
He is one hit from death here, only on 3 hearts. Can pass to Aussie, but opts not to.
This might be the time cap here. He's going to make it across. The ninja's there, has to be careful. He's still no stake. But he's going to get the capture. This is going to tie things up here. 4 minutes left. Olympus still has the momentum here. Delta Force now has to consider what do they have to change their momentum. Spot has already switched to offense a while ago, so I noticed that change a little while ago. I'm wondering, both teams have not used their ninja cap.
Yeah,
with
what I was about to say too.
Yeah, with so little time left, that might be the difference. If one of the teams gets that ninja cap.
And it looks like we do have attempts here already from Olympus. Mario here, making his way sneakily around to the top of Delta Force's flag room. Meanwhile, we also have the Spartan 33 switching to Ninja for Delta Force. When he gets still here, everything on him means he's not going to get very far. We also have a steal from Aussie, out as Elf. He does have the medic there, so he isn't going to go down to damage just yet. And it looks like the rest of Delta Force's recovery did just go down.
And he gets the restore here at mid. This Olympus is getting a lot of momentum right now, but a huge swap back right to the assassin away from the support. Has to be careful here.
The archer is here, melee supporting for Olympus. And Aussie is once again in the water.
He's so low right now. There's a pyro on him. Set him a good amount of support. Here.
Looks like he is going to get the restore from the double medic. Daphne notably roaming up to help them out. And this cap could put Olympus in a winning position.
Yeah, and in fact, it
Gets off
does.
right before Iso is able to countersteal.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm slightly surprised by Olympus' comeback here. They were looking just out of it at 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, here they are, 4-1, leading the match.
Delta Force need to do something to, at the very least, get a cap here. And tie it up.
And there's not much time at all. Only a couple more pushes left.
They do have spades on heavy offense here, about to go into flag with Lou. As well as DTJ in the back. Actually, that's Isofron on Chemist. Does get comboed out by Slurp. And Olympus defense is able to handle that very well. I don't see anything barring a ninja attempt being able to get across the field for Delta Force here. Ooh, unable to recover on the Chemist drop. We do have Sir Leo pick up this heavy.
There's a lot of pressure on him and not much support, so I don't expect him seeing him getting fall here.
Does look to be going down in the next few hits. Medic barely gets there. We also have double medic offense for Olympus here, notably. Their Pyro left without a medic means that their defense is containing Delta Force's offense significantly well.
55 seconds here, not much time. Still, both teams have their ninja cap, so Delta Force can use that to their advantage, but it's not easy getting ninja seals on this map in particular. It's very predictable where ninjas will pull on this map. 30 seconds left. This might be it for Delta Force here.
Indeed. Looks like we have triple ninja offense here, attempt here. Every one of them going down, though. That was quite possibly the last push.
This is an incredible comeback from Olympus, who were looking out of it for the majority of this match. 9 seconds left. I don't think a ninja is even possible. 5 seconds. That's got to be game.
That's definitely game.
Wow. That's an incredible comeback from Olympus there. They managed to sort things out, get Olympus, get offensive momentum going.
Yeah, that is crazy. Olympus winning the match here off of one cap. Those are cap totals of 4 for Delta Force and 5 for Olympus. Once again, seeing the Forest of Rivals effect as a map 3 map containing lots of momentum off of just one capture.
So, concerning play of the game, who do you think, who stood out? I definitely want to mention someone from offense on that last part, because they did a lot, but I also want to mention their defense for holding so much.
Definitely. So, I think there were a lot of substitutions on that last map. I think that is what kind of threw the game in the favor of Olympus. They were able to get certain players in that actually made quite a difference. In terms of player of the game, I saw both of Olympus's medics, notably Daphne, being able to roam up and support those carriers. Those medics were the only reason they were able to go and get across the field so quickly like they did, and survive, especially as such a squishy class as Elf, having 2 medics there, 2 opportunities for the full restore every time. I would personally put Emily as player of the game just because I saw her getting heals consistently for Olympus's offense, no matter who the carrier was or what class they were playing.
I definitely agree there, and considering that normally we see Food Court playing that medic offensive role, EO does sometimes come in and play that, but most often it's Food Court. Being able to step in and play with his offense against one of the top 5 teams, and getting those heals, and that support is pretty big.
Yeah, so right now we do have Sir Leo in the call with us right now for a post-match interview. Congratulations on that win. That was a very nice map 3 to clutch out there. First, I want to ask, what was the change there that you guys made to make Forest of Rivals such a big determination of who won that match?
In my honest opinion, I really think it was Mario going into Chem. I feel like at the end there we had a lot of steals where it was just we were taking a lot of control of the flag room, which was something we weren't really doing at the beginning, where it was like we had a lot more of like our main cappers trying to just go in. I would try to like push in as heavy, but I would just get, completely mauled by all the pressure. So him switching to that class, I think, made the really big difference. Like you're getting a steal like every 2-3 minutes or something. So, well, yeah, cap, a steal that led to a cap.
Yeah. I was wondering what was going to change for you guys, because obviously, like at the 10-minute mark, you guys seemed completely out of it, down a cap, needing 4 in 10 minutes, which just seemed like an impossible feat. But that change definitely seemed to work for you guys, obviously. I'm also curious. This is kind of an elephant in the room question for me. Last week, obviously, one of the large downfalls Olympus was having was negative mentality, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I almost feel like that was happening again in this match. How was that, and what do you guys do to address it, or at least keep the focus going and play to the end of the match?
Well, I don't know exactly what caused it, but at the very least, I know me personally, like I was trying to stay positive. Like I felt like as heavy, at least, I was able to, try and create space, and especially, after he went chem, it was, I don't know, it was easy to get hype when we were getting those steals, and even when we weren't getting those, I was trying my best to try to keep the mentality up. It is definitely something we as a team need to work on, and I think it's, as we've just been trying to figure a lot of things out, especially after last week. A lot of our practices recently, we've been trying a lot of different things, and I think that process is probably still a work in progress. But yeah, I think as we continue to figure things out, we'll work on that problem as well.
Yeah, this is very nice. I really like to see it. Teams being able to develop and adapt based off of past scenarios and just like, completely perform here and pull such a massive upset on what was looking so much like a Delta Force win there. I do have a question though, speaking of Delta Force, who on their roster was just like the most troubling thing for you guys to get past on offense? And then in terms of their offensive roster, who was putting in a lot of the work there?
Well, I can't really speak much for their offense just because, I was an offense player myself. But I would say, honestly, I can't really think of one individual play. I would say DF is definitely they're definitely good at working together as a team. And I think that's something where it's like, even though, our roster has a lot of good players, I think we need to continue working on that teamwork aspect that DF seems to have a lot down. It's like it was just everybody kind of collectively, covering us. It's kind of hard to explain. I would say definitely the bulks. I mean, I was obviously heavy offense, so the bulks like Zarpin and Spades were definitely giving me trouble, especially on the first map. But I don't know. I think their defense was just a complete unit, and it was giving us a lot of trouble.
Well, I personally don't have any more questions left to ask. Do you, Cardona?
I think that just kind of wraps up for me as well. Once again, congratulations, putting on quite a show there. Very nice match. Very well played by both teams.
Indeed, thank you. We have a lot to learn from it.
Yeah, and once again, I mean, this is only the second week of the season. Plenty more matches to go. I mean, you guys still have to face Citrix and Annihilation. And given that Citrix just beat Delta Force, you wonder that's probably going to be a slightly tougher match. You still have, as you mentioned, lots of things to work on. And so...
Yeah, those are going to be two very big litmus test matches.
But anyways, good luck going forward, and once again, congratulations on that victory.
Thank you.
With that being said, did we actually formally decide on play of the game, Cardona?
I don't think we did.
Because I feel, let me think. I'm kind of torn. There's a lot of just notable moments throughout this match. Notable players. Stuff like someone like B-Swan. I know the chat is hard pushing for B-Swan.
Okay, yeah, actually, B-Swan, I think, was a sleeper pick for Delta Force here. Haven't seen a lot of match time from him, at least I haven't. He might have, but his scout gameplay was just very clean. Each swap that he performed was a recovery for Delta Force for the most part.
And like that swap on Lowrise, if you remember that one, the swap into the assassin, which basically stopped a CAC from going to Olympus, was also very huge, but overall played very well.
Definitely.
But I think I want to credit, personally, the major victors here. Well, the Olympus offense in that, and the last moments of Map 3. And I'm thinking of giving it to, say, someone like Participated Leo. Who the one...
Participated, actually, I definitely 100% agree with Participated being a candidate, because it wasn't just Map 3 where he showed off. Map 1, he got 2 very crucial steals that could have resulted in something. Like he just had a good game overall throughout every map, as opposed to a lot of other players who either made it or broke it. Map 3.
So I think personally, I think Participated is the one to go with.
I can go with that.
As Leo said, I mean, he was a major contributing factor to the momentum swing on Forest of Rivals. So, honorable mentions to a lot of other players, of course. I mean, we saw great performances all around, notably B-Swan and EL6.
For sure.
But I think the play of the game will be Participated here. And with that, I think that's going to conclude our match today. In fact, that was the last match of round 2. So we have round 3 matches coming up next week. A good number of matches to look forward to. I mean, we have Annihilations versus the Baguettes. Olympus versus Citrix. So a lot of good matches to look forward to next week. Make sure you tune in.
For sure. And then also, what should be happening somewhere in between is another CMS recap with our desk. We'll be going over all of the round 2 matches and analyzing what happened, analyzing key players, key plays, and talking about what's going to be happening for these matches going into round 3. So stay tuned for that.